Hello, I am Umbrenero and welcome back to Umbrenero's Life. Today's video is Reorganizing Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards Traps. We made it to the final part of this series, and I put all of the trap cards into one section for a reason I mentioned in the common spells part. There are not many in the two other trap sections, so it wouldn't have made sense to put them as a video together. But the common traps here, so the first part of the traps that I'm doing, there were actually more of them than there were common spells, but the amount of cards between common spells and other spells made it so I could easily split that category in half. Whereas here, I could not do that. So, this is all of the trap cards in one video, just because it was easier. So, like I had said in the spells area, these cards are not put in order of rarity. They are just put in alphabetical order, and trust me, there's quite a few. So I'm at that weird spot where I am near the end of a binder. And I know all of my trap cards are not fitting in to the 4-inch binder that I have here. There's no space in the other two binders that I already have. So this is where we add binder number 4. I believe it's after this section or so. I can't remember exactly when it is, but we do add binder number 4 here because apparently 3 4-inch binders were not enough. Then again, these cards did fill 7 binders originally, so kind of evens out to be about the same amount of space, just more condensed. So if this binder is now full. Had to pull something off of the binder because it did not describe what was in here anymore. And here's actually, I was searching for a binder to use, and I found one of the original binders I had these cards all in. And the traps were not in this specific one, but I figured, hey, here's their new home. So, picked up right where we left off and kept on going. Because I will admit, 2 of the original binders that these cards were in were only like the 1-inch or 1.5-inch, and they were overpacked. Like, when the lid was closed, it was sticking up quite a bit, and you could see cards easily. So I figured I'm gonna grab one of the 2-inch binders that I was using, put it with the 3 4-inch binders, and we're gonna be good. And the cards are organized this way. And like I said, there's a lot of common trap cards, because there just are. Common, normal, whatever it was I called them. I don't remember. There's so many cards. So I was actually starting to get to an interesting spot. I was almost out of pages for in the binder. Like when I started adding them to this one, it's like, am I gonna have enough pages, or am I gonna have to go loot other areas to see if I can find more pages? Well, I decided to play the page game to see if there's going to be enough. And yes, we're on to yet another pile of the common / normal traps, because, like I said, there were that many. But we're getting to the end of this part of the trap cards, which meant it was time to move on to the continuous traps. And I'm still playing the game of do I have enough sheets? Because I had the extra sheets I had all set to the side, ready to go in case they were needed, and, well, I needed a few. But it got to be a close game of, are there enough? So I kept putting in all of the continuous cards. And then after these come the counter traps. And I mention it now because there are not a whole ton of those. And they just took up a lot less space than these did. But it's neat to look at artworks of cards with the same name or similar name and just see the slight differences in the art. But when they all come from the same set, they usually have the same art, so... Again, putting in another stack, hoping there's enough. But here we finish up the continuous cards once that last one goes in there. And now we do the counter traps. Like I said, there are some that look very similar even though they have different names. It is kind of neat when you really think about it. In all, I am very glad that this project is now completed. Who knows what the next one will be, but we will see. So, thank you for watching, and until next time, I am Umbrenero. Bye!